Good evening, everybody. Cheers. I wasn't even going to come on here today, but whoo, child, it just seems like every day it's some new development that is just too over the top. But first, I am Shellie B, a conservative Black sister surviving in a hot mess world. And a hot mess it is. Boy, oh boy. But before we get into this story right here, please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. I would really appreciate it. And I would like to get my channel monetized. So I need at least 1,000 subscribers. So please just go over there and just like and share the page. Click the like button, write a comment. All of that stuff helps the algorithm. Thank you in advance. Now let's get this together. Let me show you this. This is unbelievable. But listen, I don't even know what to say about this one. But I had to come on here and talk about this because I know that Mockingbird Media is going to spin this all kinds of ways to get everybody in their feelings, and people are not going to really understand what's going on. So let me present my screen. Show y'all this. Child, this was too much. But I think I'm here for it. President Trump just made a new deal with El Salvador. Now, are you sitting down? Hold on, what's going on this?
President Trump may send the worst of the worst American criminals.
Let me get my headphones on. There's so much to think about when you're doing this, but I'm going to get better. Every day I get better and better, right, y'all? So this is a damn trip because look what it says. Trump may send violent American criminals to El Salvador. Now, they already want to send the violent criminals that we have here that are not from here to El Salvador. And I think it's some other countries that they might send them to, too. I'm not really sure about all of that, because this is just a new developing story. But one thing I can say about this president, everything he campaigned on, he's doing it. You understand? And most of the people in this country want to feel safe here. They want to get rid of the drugs and the gangs and all that. And he just did some gangster shit to make sure this happens. Now, this is, what's his name? Anthony Brian Logan. Anthony Brian Logan. I don't want to mess up his name. Anthony Michael Logan or something like that. You'll see it because I put it in the description. I'm so sorry, sir, if I messed up your name. But anyway, I watched this program. Like I said, I watch a lot of independent media. These are like very conservative ones, but I watch all kinds of media all day long. But when I saw his position on this, I really pretty much agreed with him on everything he said. I feel like we tend to not listen to the other side because you're so propagandized and you're so beat over the head by government-controlled media, which is called propaganda, that you don't even want to take the time to listen to another perspective. But this will definitely curb crime for sure. Check this out.
To El Salvador to go to. President Trump may send the worst of the worst American criminals to El Salvador to go to the penitentiary and make big rocks to little rocks. And there's more, but let's talk about it.
Brian Logan.
How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today we got to talk about President Trump potentially sending American citizens to prison in El Salvador.
Now, this is very controversial because if you are a career criminal and you are committing violent crimes, rapes, murders, pedophiles, and all that stuff, and you get caught too many times over here, your ass is going to El Salvador. There's somewhere else too that they said they might send them, but El Salvador's prisons are no freaking joke. El Salvador, that president said he was going to clean up crime in the gangs, and he did it. They barely have any more crime. That's how hard they went. So I don't know. America might start getting very safe if they follow the model of El Salvador.
President there has extended a gracious offer to us. Hey, you guys want to send illegal aliens, maybe some Americans, the worst of the worst. You want to send them to us? We'll take them into our prisons. They can make big rocks to little rocks here. And I say hats off to you, sir.
Now, the crazy crazy thing about America, there is nowhere on the planet that has an open border like we had. So a lot of these countries were sending their because I know Venezuela sent all their all their criminals and they emptied their asylums into America. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I don't understand what the reason was why Democrats did that. Then the people get here and they're committing crime after crime, and they keep letting them out of jail, and they committing more crimes. Like it doesn't make sense. And I don't know why people are acting like they don't believe that there's a high volume of gangs and cartel working in this country, and a lot of the times the government is so corrupt, they want to keep the cartels and the criminals here because it's a whole damn economy with the drugs, the guns, and everything like that. What America, what the last administration had did with the border and all that, it still makes no sense to me. It just makes no sense. And somewhere like El Salvador, where they cleaned up their gangs and stuff like that, and they're working hand in hand with the Trump administration, ain't going. They going. I don't even know what to tell y'all. Just watch this.
Thank you for that. I really, really appreciate it. Trump also said that he may send 30,000 illegal aliens to Gitmo, Guantanamo Bay, and Cuba. Now
the mainstream mockingbird media is always going to spin it like they're sending, people that did petty crimes or illegals that cross the border that are not violent criminals and they're not gang members or they're not Chinese, spies and whatnot. Because don't get it twisted, it's not just Latin people, it's people from all over. The Chinese ones, they want to get them too. You understand? It's not, you guys gotta listen. Don't let the mockingbird media lie to you. There's a lot of Chinese people, there's a lot of people from the Middle East, all kinds of people came to this border and they're all getting locked up. They're all getting rounded up and sent back. Lots of Chinese spies came through. It's crazy. You guys got to listen to more than one side of the story, because I'm telling you, the government media, which is MSNBC, CNN, all of those, New York Times, they are the ones that put out the government narrative, the globalist narrative. They're being funded by the very people that are committing all these problems. So they're never going to put them in a bad light.
This is just music to my ears. It's music to my ears. We got a really bad problem in this country with crime from illegal aliens from all over the world.
I don't know why the mockingbird media is trying to make it seem like there's not a problem with the gangs. I don't understand why they would want to do that. You know what I'm saying? It makes no sense. You have to really question why they're acting like there's not a problem.
It ain't just about Mexico or Central America, Spanish speakers. No, it's the entire world, whether it be black, white, Puerto Rican, and Kenyan stripe. And what I mean by that is people from China, Africa, Europe, Asia, South America, wherever they come from, if they're here illegally and they have the nerve to be committing crime.
That's my thing. Why are Democrats and liberals going hard for people that are criminals? They are not. Y'all acting like they're all these women with children. Most of the people that came across the border were like military age men. Y'all have to stop listening to mockingbird media and really get the truth of what's going on.
Don't care where they go. Gitmo, El Salvador, the ocean, who cares? And before I go any further, let's get to.
And listen, a lot of Americans feel like that. A lot of the reason why people voted for Trump was because of that border and because of the crime and everything that came with that border. And people was tired of seeing their cities' tax funds be depleted, supporting the illegals. This is solely pretty much why he won the election, because he, ran on doing something about this.
To the first thing, this is about Gitmo. This is from our brand new White House press secretary, Caroline Leavitt. Of course,
not for nothing, I like the press secretary. I feel like compared to what was the other name, Corinne Jean-Pierre, whatever name, she was just the biggest liar and just disingenuous, and she wasn't even a good liar. She had no poker face, none. She just got up there and lied to the American people every single day. This girl is the youngest press secretary that there ever was, but I think that she, handles herself pretty well.
If you want to see this video and the other videos and my sources, my links will always be in the box. If you're on IG, Visit that link in the bio, go to the corresponding article on the website. But without further ado, let's go ahead and roll it.
President Trump is not messing around, and he's no longer going to allow America to be a dumping ground for illegal criminals from nations all over this world. And so El Salvador has not just agreed to the repatriation of their own citizens, but also.
And see, that was the issue. A lot of people are making it seem like it was a trade war that he was having with these countries. He was just wanting them, take back your aliens and secure your part of the border so they don't keep coming over here, and make sure that there's no drugs getting through your place to our place. That's what he was asking for. So I don't understand why everybody's talking about, oh, trade wars and all that. No, he was trying to secure the border and keep drugs out of our country, which is what the American people said they wanted, and is what he ran on, and he's keeping his promise. I don't know why everybody hates this man so much, because so far I think he's doing a good job. I'm not mad at nothing that he's doing. Y'all can't show me nothing that the Democrat Party has done for this country but run it into the ground. Y'all can't. I mean, if you could logically tell me what they've done to make this country great. I mean, look at all of the major cities. They're a wreck. The people in Chicago turned on liberals and the left because of what they were doing. And the reality is black people are being ridiculous, because all of these people are going to come into your community. They're not going to go to some rich white community. They're going to come in your community. That was the problem in Chicago. They sent all those people there. They used up all the resources that should have been for the people there, and they were tight, and they voted against the Democrats. Come on, y'all, be real about it. This is what happened.
Illegal criminals from other nations who will then be sent to their prisons. Venezuela as well has agreed to repatriation flights. And
check it out, Venezuela emptied out their prisons, emptied out their insane asylums into America, and whatever Trump said to them, or whatever deal they're making, he's taking all of them back, and even said he'd take our prisoners. Now, where on earth do you know that you can send your criminals somewhere? They were sending their criminals here, but illegally, you know what I'm saying, just to try to get their crime rate down. And Venezuela's crime rate did go down a little bit when they got rid of all their people and sent them over here. Why would your government want that to happen? Why would they want to open border? You really have to ask yourself. You understand? Globalists want to collapse America so everything can be in dire straits, and everybody will be desperate and all out of their mind, and then they could come and you'll just do whatever they want to do, and you'll fall in line with any tyranny they want to inflict on you.
Colombia also agreed to cooperate with the repatriation of illegal Colombian.
So who's going? Everybody's taking back their people. Colombia, Venezuela, El Salvador, Canada got in line, Mexico got in line. As far as I'm concerned, he's being effective. He ran on these things, and he promised these things to the American people, and he kept his promise. So I don't understand what everybody's mad for. A safer country, I'm here for it. I'm fine. I'm good. Do I agree with everything he does? No. Who agrees with everything? Y'all mean to tell me you agree with everything that the Biden administration did? Or are you kidding me? Y'all have to be... Don't even get me started.
Colombian nationals that we have found in the interior of our country. And I can also confirm that today, the first flights from the United States to Guantanamo Bay with illegal migrants are underway. President Trump is not...
I love it. Shout out Caroline Levitt. Shout out to President Trump. Shout out to the entire Trump administration. You guys are doing a bang up job so far. I am pleased. Hey.
And listen, a lot of Americans are pleased. Like mostly a majority of the people voted for him. Democrats have a 57, a 40-something% approval rating. A lot of people, a lot of politicians, a lot of constituents and stuff like that, they deflected from the Democrat Party because people have had enough. They have been in power for decades, and the country is getting run into the ground, and the corruption is off the chain. Let me see. Let me just try to get past this a little bit so you can see. Let's see what he's saying.
The situation of deporting these people, the violent criminals and whatnot, up out of the country.
And I cannot stress enough that it's not just people that are committing petty crimes, even people that are committing felonies. It's the repeat career freaking criminals, the violent gang members, the serial rapists and pedophiles, and people that cannot get rehabilitated. Those are the people that they want to exile.
Get out.
And frankly, they could keep him because these people are never going to be any good. That person that has been arrested 42 times or 22 times.
And a lot of these people just in New York alone, a lot of them have been arrested 13 times and stuff just in their little bit of time being in New York. I don't know how these people were able to keep getting out. I don't know. I don't know what policies that Democrats and liberals had in effect that allowed that to happen.
17 times and is all in for manslaughter and everything else, and only gets out because of
all kinds of rapes and stuff.
Judicial
like that.
System that only goes after people like Trump. They don't go after the criminals. They don't go after people like.
And listen, how about that? They spent millions and maybe $1 billion to go after him to try to get him out of the running. Where's all that energy for the real criminals? Where's all that energy for the 800,000 kids that go missing every year? They didn't invest nothing into that. What about all of the criminals that are out here raping, robbing, and pillaging and stuff like that? But they spent all their time and money going after him. It just is ridiculous. And I feel like the American people saw it and they just felt like this is bullshit. And everybody that's not watching Mockingbird media and not completely brainwashed know that it's very corrupt.
Like this. And they laugh at our law. If that took place, you would have a lot less crime automatically.
And he ain't lying. A lot of the cartels were coming here to America because they knew that they wouldn't get locked up. And then they started using like a lot of young people to commit these crimes and stuff like that because they knew that they would be lenient on them. I don't know why our country is so lenient on crime and just letting people keep going through the jail system like a revolving door.
Automatically.
If a man really hated ads, here's what he would do. Day
Sorry,
one,
y'all, again,
he would install
I'm not
Pi on his
paying
computer without spending a
to not have
dime because
commercials
it's
so I get
100%
1,000
free.
subscribers and can
Automatically
monetize my
off the
channel.
rip. So
like, share,
shout
subscribe.
out to the President Trump. Orange man good. Let's get to the next thing. This is about El Salvador. Okay.
Now, El Salvador, when I tell you El Salvador, they were like one of the most violent places in Latin America or whatever, and now they have next to no crime because they went so freaking hard. Those people there do not even want to know a gang member. You know, they got rid of all them people. They broke up all their cartels, everything. They were not playing. And I don't see who has a problem like that with that. Why wouldn't you want to live in a country that's safe? I don't understand that. Who are we defending here? We're defending people that are not even from here, that are criminals, and we protecting them. Make it make sense.
Prisons over there. Yeah, you want to act up here. You want to be a notorious criminal getting locked up 1,000 times. You want to be a menace upon society. Okay, go over there and see if you can do all that extra stuff.
I know that's right, because they are not playing over there in them prisons. And you know, if they got cartel members locked up and they on their knees obeying, you know it's some gangster shit over in those prisons. So y'all can act big and bad if you want to. Y'all can be career criminals if you want to, but it's about to be a wrap on crime. Now, this is when they talk about tough on crime, this is tough on crime. Your ass get exiled for being a career criminal. I'm at it, because like if you are a person that keeps raping continuously and you're not being rehabilitated, you keep, you know, committing serious crimes, you're a career gang member or mobster or whatever the case may be, you know, and then I know black people say, oh, well, where is it going to be all on us? No, it's going to be on the people that are career criminals. If you are a career criminal and you keep going in and out of prison and you're not being rehabilitated and you're committing very serious felonies over and over, then you did that to yourself. Nobody did that to you. That was your choices that caused you to get exiled to Ecuador.
Go ahead and try it over there in El Salvador. Let's check it out.
Donald Trump is to send American criminals to El Salvador's notorious mega prisons in a breakthrough migrant deal. U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio gloated that El Salvador...
Y'all better put them guns down and go back to college or go to school, learn a trade or something, because y'all better give up that life of crime, because it ain't cute. It ain't going to be cute for y'all. Y'all going to be sitting in El Salvador learning a second language, because it's going to be serious.
El Salvador's president agreed to the most unprecedented, extraordinary migratory agreement anywhere in the world.
Now, before we continue, shout out to the president of El Salvador. I believe his name is Bukele. If I said that wrong.
And the thing about this president is that the people love him because the cartels and the gangs were overriding and just, you know, harassing the people and doing the most, and committing. The crime was so much, and the people were afraid to go to work. Everything, they had just ran rampant. They were like roaches all over the whole entire country. They just controlled everything. This guy came in here like a G and cleaned that shit up in like 2 years, locked everybody up, dismantled all of the cartels. Now it's a controversy a little bit because they feel like some of the things are unconstitutional. But then if you don't like it, don't be in a gang. Don't associate with gang members. Don't commit crimes that are gang related and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? You know, in that country, he's for the people. And guess what? They reelected him for another term for 5 more years. So the people there are happy. Don't let the Mockingbird media try to tell you some other shit, because the people are very happy with what he did over there, except for the criminals.
Right, you'll let me know in the comments.
He added that El Salvador's president even offered to do the same for some of America's most dangerous criminals currently locked up in the US, despite them being US citizens or legal residents.
I'm not sure about the legality of doing that as far as deporting.
But the reality is, once you're a criminal and a felon, they might really be able to get away with it because you lose a lot of your rights and stuff. So I don't know how that's going to be. I know it's going to be a big fight over and all that. But who really wants to fight to protect career criminals, rapists, pedophiles, people that just keep committing the same crimes over and over? They're not talking about felons that commit a crime one time and they get rehabilitated and they go about their life and they stay off the radar. They're talking about career criminals, violent criminals. Get it right. Don't be jumping out the window because mainstream media is going to make it seem like they're talking about locking up anybody that commits a crime. That's not what it is.
Illegal and a legal citizen. I'm not really sure how that works, but if we're able to do it legally and it's not really a problem, I say go ahead, let's do it. Would that be considered deportation? I'm not really sure, but whatever it is, however it's classified, I want them to get this done.
Rubio was visiting the country.
And listen, he's not the only one. A lot of American people want to feel safe here and they want to get, you know, it's not even about like illegals. Even though you're committing a crime when you enter the country illegal, they don't want the broke ones. They don't want the ones that we have to support and use up all of a city's money till the city is bankrupt. They don't want the criminals, and I don't see why anybody has a problem with that. It makes no sense that you would want to have a bunch of criminals or a bunch of immigrants that can't afford to take care of themselves. Now, I like that some of Trump's other policies that people can get citizenship if they come here and go to college. I mean, why wouldn't you want the better people to come here? Like, you know, open the floodgates for people that want to get an education and use their brain to help better our, you know, economy, or, you know, better whatever they're going to do here. You know, it makes no sense why you would want to flood the country with people that we have to take care of. It just makes no sense. And then people going to say, oh, this is stolen land, whatever. We can't afford to take all of these people. Maybe they can make it where we take a certain amount, but this is the point. People are not coming through legally, but if you come through legally, you still would get all of those benefits, but it would be controlled, and it wouldn't be like, oh, 1 million people coming into one city and just like pillaging the city and just like using up all the resources. It doesn't make any sense why anybody would want that, except globalists, because they want to collapse America and then come back with some tyrannical new way of running things, because everybody be so broke, desperate, and hungry, they'll accept anything that they come with.
On Monday to try and make progress on meeting Trump's demands for a major crackdown on immigration. It was also agreed that El Salvador would take back MS-13 gang members residing in the US unlawfully.
And see, El Salvador, them gang members, they got up out of El Salvador and came to America because they know it ain't no joke in El Salvador. They're gagging because they're going to take them back and they're going to lock them up with the rest of the gangs in El Salvador. He said, we'll gladly take them back. Those other countries didn't want to take their criminals back. But El Salvador is prepared for their criminals to come back. They want them back.
El Salvador is renowned for its brutal jails, especially the counterterrorism confinement center mega prison.
Some are going to say that these kind of conditions is inhumane. How are you going to treat humans?
But just look at that picture. Those are the most violent criminals and gang members and cartels from El Salvador, and look how they are, stripped down with their hands behind their back on their knees, completely humbled. Crime does not pay. It doesn't pay. No matter how tough you are, when they get you, you're a coward. You're a clown. You know what I mean? Like, why would you take yourself to this? Do something more productive with your life is the point.
It's like this. Well, look, at the end of the day, we're talking about prison, and these people, the worst of the worst. If you steal a carton of milk or something, whatever, some kind of random thing, we ain't talking about sending those people to this kind of situation. Those individuals should be punished. There should be some kind of incarceration, some kind of jail or something like that. But, you know, little small jail for stuff like that. But this right here, yeah, you want to be MS-13 gang member. You want to traffic children.
There you go. The amount of trafficking, 350,000 at least of children that went missing at that border and that they were trafficked. I seen videos of kids on doped up where they were out of their minds and phone sleep, their necks bending back and everything. They were dead sleep and they were not with their parents. They had a system where they were checking the DNA, but the Biden administration stopped that. What would be the reason why you don't want to verify these kids? This is what I'm saying. And then you're going to tell me 800,000 kids go missing in America every year. Y'all better stop playing with me. These people are corrupt, and the rabbit hole on their corruption is out of this world. And I'm glad for anybody that wants to expose this and get to the bottom of what these people are doing, because they are the freaking devil.
You want to harm people. You want to assault them. You want to take their life.
So let me skip forward because I ain't watched this all the way. Let me see what else is on here because I want to show you.
That outlines the country's intentions on working together was signed. This is to advance US and El Salvador civil nuclear cooperation, which could lead eventually to a more formal deal involving medicine too.
Shout out to El Salvador.
I'm sure Trump made some kind of deal with them to also bring money and enrich both for our countries or whatever, you know. One thing I can say, remember he wrote that book back in the day, The Art of the Deal. Now, the funny thing about him is that everybody loved him until he went against the deep state and tried to start exposing them and ran for president and won. Everybody liked him. He was respected for what he knew about business and stuff like that and deal making and stuff like that. And he does seem like he is the master of the art of the deal, like his book said. I might need to read his book. I think he's being very successful with these deals so far. So far, none of these deals have faltered. The only people that's holding out still is China. And let's see what they're going to say. You know, we might not buy some cheap Timo shit, or we might not, we might, because other than that, you know what I'm saying? I think it will be fine without them, especially if you're going to have an allegiance with some of these other South American countries and stuff like that. So let's just see how it all plays out. You know, I feel like eventually he'll get a deal out of China too, because I feel like Americans spend so much money that I just feel like nobody wants to, who wants to go through that? You know what I'm saying? Like, just sit down, make a deal, discuss it until you could come to a point where everybody's satisfied. That's a mature way of doing it.
Salvador, shout out to the president over there. I love it. I think it's a fantastic thing, and I cannot wait. Hey, they already got some planes going to Guantanamo Bay,
yeah,
so they can make big rocks to little rocks over in Cuba. I want the next plane to go straight to El Salvador. I want. So,
you know, I like him. I like his the way he put that together. He had everything in one place. Because a lot of times I don't feel like researching. That's why I don't feel like editing everything. But I appreciate all these online journalists because, you know, they keep me knowing what's going on for real, knowing the truth. And the link to everything I show on here is going to be in the description because I appreciate the work of these people and I give them their props for their videos or whatever. So now let me just show you this about El Salvador real quick. And then I'm going to tell you who y'all talking about. I know black people are going to say, oh, we're going to be the most affected by this. But what really is affecting black people, y'all don't even understand that, you know, in New York, Houchel has that public health regulation. What is it? Health Code Article 11. I'm going to show you that briefly. I'm going to make a whole video about it. I talked about it in one of my older videos, and it's on my YouTube channel. And I think it's called COVID camps or something like that. You know, so this is how y'all really going to get locked up and how the system's going to work against y'all. But let me just show you this real quick about El Salvador. Because I ain't mad at all about this. You know what I'm saying? If you don't want to be locked the frick up, don't be a criminal. I mean, like, seriously. I mean, especially a violent criminal like a lot of these ones that they're mentioning. You know, I feel I would love to live somewhere, you know, where it's as safe as El Salvador. The people are happy with this guy over there. What's his name? His name is President Nayib Bukele. Good-looking guy. Seems like a nice man. His people of his nation love and respect him. He ran on saying he'll make them safe. They elected him and he did what he said. And I mean, nowhere in South America is as safe as El Salvador. I want to go visit El Salvador now because I remember in the 80s when it was terrible there with the violence and stuff like that. And I'm sure I just remember seeing pictures in Time magazine of heads on stakes and stuff like that. Like, it was really wild over there. And like, for him to get the crime to where it's like no crime, it's like hardly any crime there. And it just goes to show you don't have to have crime like that if your country's run efficiently and the people are put first and it's not corrupt. So what does it say? Let me see if I can make this bigger for you guys so you can see it bigger. There we go. Okay. So President Nayib Bukele said that via the social platform X that the number announced Wednesday by the small Central American country's Attorney General's office made it the safest nation in the Western Hemisphere. In a couple of years, he cleaned it out. Not all nations have published their 2024 annual homicide totals, but the 1.9 homicides per 1,000 in population that Bukele said had been achieved will put it below what any Latin American country had reported in 2023. El Salvador's official total does not include the killings of 5 suspected gang members in shootouts with security forces. So, you know, the cops killed some of them gang members because I guess they wanted to shoot out with them, I guess, or whatever. In March 2022, El Salvador, notoriously powerful street gangs, killed 62 people in a matter of hours. The Congress granted Bukele's administration a requested state of exception to crack down on the gangs that included suspending some constitutional rights and giving police more powers to arrest and hold suspects. So the controversial part is that they took out some due process things to expedite these people getting locked up much faster. Because, you know, we all know that some of these processes can take years or whatever, and they wanted to clean it up. And they, you know, they took away some of these people's rights or whatever. And they had the support of the people and their Congress or whatever. And they did what they had to do. And they were effective. Now, I don't know, you know, about the people that are locked up and how they went about that. But he said, but down here it says, more than 83,000 people have been arrested since, the majority jailed without due process. Bukele has said that 8,000 people who were innocent have been released. So it looks like, you know, they locked everybody up, you know, ask questions later, you know what I'm saying? But they got them off the street. And I guess if you were affiliated with these gangs or whatever, I guess you had to prove, you know, that you were innocent. I don't know about the 8,000. I will have to look into that more about the, you know, the situation with them and, you know, what they went through. But the bottom line is they cleaned up El Salvador and they are thriving over there. The economy's doing great and it's the safest place to go in that region. And everybody, a lot of people are moving there and, you know, it's a beautiful place and, you know, people want to live there, safe there now, and it's amazing. Civil rights organizations have reported that 354 people who have died in government custody during the crackdown. So, you know, they going hard over there. You know, understand? And, you know, you would never want any innocent person to be locked up, and you would never want any innocent people to be killed there, whatever. And I don't know, you know, if any of these people were innocent or what the case may be, but they surely cleared up their country and the crime is next to nothing because people know now, don't mess around out here with no crime because your ass is grass, you know, so people probably don't even, you know, associate with gang members and nothing. Everybody's obeying the laws and everything over there. So despite the restrictions, the improvements in security have contributed to Bukele's extremely high popularity. There you go. His people love him. They feel safe. You know, they got rid of all the cartels and gangs there. You know, the people love him. For years, many Salvadorians lived in fear of the gangs that controlled swaths of the country, extorting, killing, and forcibly recruiting. They came over here doing that shit over here, going to the apartment buildings and taking over the apartment buildings, extorting the people that lived there and stuff like that. They were doing that right here. And the mainstream media tries to make, oh, well, it really wasn't a big problem. If one gang group is doing that, it's a problem. But it wasn't like that. They were just coming in, just taking over complexes and just moving in there and taking over. And that's what gangs do. You know, I remember during the crack era, they would come in and build projects and take the whole project over and torment the people that live there. In 2015, El Salvador had 6,656 homicides, making it one of the world's deadliest countries. Now look at that. I remember hearing stuff about that. I mean, it always was a horrible place. The fact that that man cleaned it up like that is absolutely amazing in a couple of years. And it just goes to show you, if you have a government that's not corrupt, it won't be like that. Because a lot of times the reason why the gangs and the crime get so out of hand is because the politicians are taking kickbacks from the gangs and they're doing the most and they're getting money in their pocket to let these people run amok and torture the citizens. The advances have inevitably raised the question of whether the state of emergency can still be justified, to which Bukele and his ministers have obliquely answered, so that they have not yet achieved all that they wish. So, you know, the crime is so good now they're saying they should lift it, but I don't know. It's very, you know, it's something to really think about. You know what I mean? You know, do you want to live somewhere safe, or do you want to keep defending all these criminals? And I don't understand why liberals want to defend criminals. It makes no sense. The Congress, in which Bukele's party and allies hold a supermajority, continues to renew the special powers each month. So every month they vote to keep it going. You understand? So the people like it. The people are happy. The government's happy with what he's doing and everything. The gang's repressive control made it difficult and dangerous for residents to travel between neighborhoods, including for work. This is how they're going to have it in America if they keep those policies in place, with letting the gang members run amok and they're not doing their jail time, and they keep getting back out on the street and committing crime. A lot of these people that are here, they were deported before. They come back, rape a kid, and they go to jail. You know, it was crazy. I don't know why they wanted it like this. In February, Bukele romped to victory, winning an unprecedented second 5-year term despite a constitutional ban on consecutive re-election. A friendly Supreme Court allowed it. So, you know, they tried to block him and he still ended up there. So the bottom line is that we can't fall for the okie doke. You understand? Because liberals and globalists, you know, control Democrats are gonna spin everything so that you can be in your feelings. And being that Black people are always at the deciding vote, they always throw everything at us like, you know, we're going to be in some type of suffering in some way, when it's just really not the case. It's not the case. They lie. They want you to feel like you're always some type of victim, no matter what's going on. They want you always be in this constant state of victimhood, when we're not. Most of these government programs don't help us any damn way. Therefore, everybody else benefits from them but us. Like, we have to just start realizing that anything that we do, you know, it's going to be on us to make it. Now, I'm going to get off of here, but I just have to let y'all know this, because I get so tired of hearing Black people say, oh, you know, we're going to be the main people affected by this. Oh, meanwhile, we're not affected by it at all, because we weren't the main benefactors of any of this shit in the first place. But where y'all will have a problem, I'm gonna share my screen and show all this so y'all can look at it. And like I said, I'm gonna make another live, because the only people that's gonna lock up civilians, as always, will be the liberals, will be Democrats, because they make policy to always take your rights away. So I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to show y'all something. And I want y'all to look at this, because you can get this PDF right online at newyorkcity.gov/assets, and its code is Health Code Article 11. Okay, now this document, that's why you got to read. Reading is fundamental. Y'all can't just trust, you know, Mockingbird Media. Look how long this document is. And not till almost the end of the document do they get to the point where they tell you that if you have a communicable disease, and I have the list of diseases, and if you look up this this article 11, you will see on there all of the diseases that they could come and get your ass and lock you up. Now, this is also communicable disease reporting requirements. So this is another thing you can look at. Communicable disease reporting requirements. Shit like Lyme disease is on here, all kind of random shit. So what this basically means in a nutshell is that your government in New York now I done told you about this multiple times. Like I said, I have another video on my profile. I think it's called COVID Camps, that will explain to you in depth what they did and how they were able to get this through, and the lawyers that tried to fight it. And it's unconstitutional, but somehow House got, circumvented legislation to get this on there. But basically the bottom line is that they can at any time, I could call on you and say you have one of those diseases on the list. And if they feel like it, they can get a court order to have you locked up in a facility. And it's worse than even when they lock you up for mental illness or something, because they can keep you there as long as they want to until a doctor says you feel better. And it's just like when they 302 you or whatever, they lock you up in there, and you have to agree to medical treatment, medical products, injections, whatever they want to do to you. And you could be in there for up to 90 days, 60 or 90 days before you can even, try to go to court and get out of there. So by that time, they could have did anything to you in that time. And I do feel the reason why they fought so hard to get this public health regulation, because they're going to make up some new disease. We already know that, that the COVID vaccine is all over the news. All the mainstream media places that you trust have now confirmed, even though we've known for years that it was started in a lab in Wuhan. So they could just do that again. Oh, communicable disease, everybody has to shelter in place. Oh no, Shellie, you got to come with us because you're not complying with getting this new vaccine or whatever. So we're going to take you and we're going to keep you in this facility, and we're going to dope you up for 90 days or whatever, and until we feel that you are well enough to go home. You know what I'm saying? And your doctors have to report you everything. Read this document. Okay. So if y'all worried about, ending up in a prison in El Salvador, y'all need to be worried about ending up at a hospital or a camp or some type of makeshift damn, tent city, medical facility, because you're refusing to some public health, regulations or something that they're trying to force on us. And again, this is a policy that really will affect Black people, because Black people took the vaccine less than PhDs. Black people were the second least to take it. You understand? So these are the things that are going to affect us. You understand? So I just threw that in there because I know what y'all going to say. I know my people, and I know what they're going to say. Oh, this is going to affect us. They're going to lock us up without due process. No, they're going to put you in a hospital or a quarantine camp without due process. So y'all better look at that. Read Article 11 and stop playing with me. Health Code Article 11. I would be curious to hear what you guys have to think about this new deal that Trump has made with these South American countries about taking our criminals and putting them there. Quite honestly, I feel like, why would we want to pay for these people? That's another thing. I don't understand why liberals want to keep housing people that come here with no money. We want to house all these criminals and use our tax dollars for this. It makes no sense. Get rid of these people. I always forget about the comments. I'm so sorry, y'all. Hi, Kelly. Yeah, Mockingbird Media. Yeah, because you know why they call them Mockingbird Media is because Operation Mockingbird was a way was a secret shit the government was doing to propagandize the people. That is why I keep telling y'all to stop watching the mainstream media, because they are propagandists, and that is it. They're only going to put out a message that's, going to put the government in the best light and hide all of the truth and facts from you. So check that out. Look up Operation Mockingbird and read about that shit. You might need to get on a private search engine, Free Spoke, any of those, and then search for things, because if you go on Google, that is propagandist Mockingbird Media type of site. So anyway, I'm going to go. I am Shellie B. Please like, share, and subscribe. I hope you appreciate this information that I'm giving you. I love y'all. That's the reason why I come on here, because I love you. This means I love you in sign language, and I really do. Please subscribe to this channel. Please like, share, comment, do whatever you got to do to get the algorithm going, because I really want to try to reach my people. I'm a conservative Black sister surviving in a hot mess world. And the reason why I always say that is because we as Black people have conservative values. We always have since we were in the motherland, and we've come here and we've let the colonizers, change how we move. You understand? We got to get back to ourselves. We got to elevate our frequency. Nothing that any of these people are doing is going to affect us. We have all the power that we need by being on one frequency of love together and elevating each other and working for each other and trying to assist each other out of the bullshit. Because what pisses me off more than anything is us arguing over which colonizer we're going to side with. It makes no sense. And I don't care what none of y'all say. I'd rather have a president that puts America first, because regardless if he's a racist or whatever you think he is, if he's putting America first, all Americans can, benefit from that. We do not benefit from globalists that take all our money abroad and, pillage all our tax dollars and tax us to death. And meanwhile, they're getting kickbacks from every country on earth. And we're all here struggling, barely making it. And the cost of living is just getting so much that you can't even afford to live on your own. You got to have 99 roommates and all of that. Meanwhile, these people come into office making $100 or something thousand a year and leave as millionaires and billionaires. Make it make sense. Wake up. We can do this together. I love you. I'm out of here. I am Shellie B. Thanks for watching. Thank you so much for being with me, and I will see you next time. Good night.